down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Oh yes, for us.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk about the Chris Brown situation. Not that I'm going to get all drawn into it and everything, but I find myself not so much taking Chris Brown's side, but just looking at it from a non-popular point of view, I'll say. I've heard a whole lot of people say, you know, this is the nature of the beast, it's the media, it comes with the territory, and he should have been prepared for it. You know what? I didn't know. Well, no, it's not so much that I didn't know. I guess it just bothers me that with celebrity or fame, there comes some type of cloak of perfection that is supposed to make a regular human being automatically become above everybody else. But then when that person actually shows that they're fallible, that they're human, then the rest of the mere mortals get to actually pick at that person like vultures, and you'll be like, they want nothing anyway to begin with, apparently, you know. So it's like people build celebrities up so that they can put them in just the perfect position to shoot them down if they screw up. The same thing was done with Britney Spears, Angela Jolie, Jessica Simpson, you know, Lindsay Lohan. These were all sweethearts at one time. Paris Hilton, you know. And granted, a lot of these people are doing things stupidly, but at the same time, who doesn't do stupid stuff? Who hasn't made mistakes? Some greater than others. When you have more access to more resources, then you have a greater probability. If you're not properly prepared to handle those things, you have a greater probability of screwing up. So when you have someone who reaches a level of superstardom at, you know, 16 years old, and he already had family issues, anger management issues, or what have you growing up, and then he gets involved with a chick who got issues of her own, because word is, for those in the know, you know, I'm not even going to say the chick's Rihanna, I'm saying her name, I don't care, she ain't going to come after me. You know, she got a little bit of a hand problem herself. Only thing is, in this society we live in, you know, it doesn't matter how much a chick goes upside a dude's head, once he puts hands on her, it's a problem. Okay, again, that's something where you just got to say it's a double standard, it is what it is, but it is what it is, you know. So dude had to go through that. Dude did his, you know, he fulfilled his obligations. My question is, what makes everyone else think that just because you buy somebody's CD that you have the right to judge that person? If you don't like what that person did, you don't respect what that person did, don't buy their CD. You ain't hurting them. For every person that won't buy a CD, there's somebody that will buy a CD. They'll be alright, and you'll be alright. It is what it is. You know, a lot of people, you know, think R. Kelly writes some of the greatest music ever written, but can't deal with the fact that he allegedly pissed on a kid. I say allegedly because, you know, there's people that still believe it, but he wasn't found guilty of it. And you know what? Even if he was found guilty of it, doesn't necessarily mean that he did it. It means that people believe he did it to the point that he was found guilty of it. I mean, I saw the videos for that too, so I'm not giving my decision on that case neither here nor there. Getting back to the Chris Brown situation and the Good Morning America interview, this is the problem that I have with the whole situation. I saw the Chris Brown interview on Good Morning America, and it started out sleazy. Well, no, it's sleazy, shifty, shiesty. It started out that way. It started out that way. She started out talking about the past. Okay? She started out showing videos from when she interviewed him before, when all that was going on. And so, if you look at the interview again, you'll see that she spends like maybe, what, 3 to 5 seconds. Oh, you got a new album? Okay, let's talk about the restraining order. Do you plan on going to events with her? Do you plan on being around her? Look, many dudes has Rihanna boned since this whole thing jumped off back in the day? You know, people leave her alone about it. You don't see Rihanna doing interviews and people bringing it all up. And she's on like, I think she's on the cover of Vogue now. I'm tempted to go to Quick Check and read the interview and see if they bugging her about it. Pause. I ain't gonna be going into Quick Check and be caught reading Vogue magazine. I'm just saying for example purposes. But here's the thing. She did an interview with, okay, so she does the interview with Chris Brown. Chris Brown blacks out, leaves, shirt off, all that good stuff. First of all, let me say this. I don't condone what Chris Brown did. It was not right. He shouldn't have handled himself in that manner. So I'm not justifying or condoning what he did. Now that I've said that, let's move past it. That's something people fail to do. Just acknowledge something for what it is and then move on. They just want to dwell. That's the whole problem here. They just want to dwell on the one little negative thing or the one big negative thing. And because you do that, you can't move on. You can't heal. You can't grow. That's a problem. But moving on. She does an interview with Gayle King, Oprah's BFF. Yeah, I said BFF. And she's got this totally innocent look on her face. I don't know why he would do that. It seemed like a good interview. I was laughing. That boy wasn't laughing at all. That boy wasn't comfortable at all. If you watch the interview she did with him, he's like, you know, I'm trying to move past that. It is what it is. I want to talk about this album. I want to talk about this music. And she was like, yeah, okay, that's all well good, but let's talk about, you know, so, yeah, he blacked out. He did his performance and he blacked out. Again, I don't condone that, but it is what it is. Now, in my opinion, this is what I think Chris Brown should have done. The first question, he let that slide. You know, yeah, I did my thing. You know, the restraining order is lifted or whatever. Don't need to be around her. I wish her the best. And that would be the end of it. All right? The next time she want to bring, you know, I want to talk about this album. And then the next time she want to bring it up, listen, I've already told you, I don't even want to talk about it. So let's talk about this album. I'm going on this tour and and he could have kept moving forward. Second warning, you know, a warning, not a second warning, but a warning. All right, he appeased the first question, gives a warning for the second question, and then if Roberts would have still pushed the issue, I'd put down the microphone, stood up, turned around, give a wrap it up signal to my band, and the whole camp just walk out. Don't even, thank you, Ms. Roberts, for the opportunity. Goodbye, and just bounced and walked out. Then, see, if he'd have done that, I believe that would have given him an air of dignity. Okay, answer the first question, give a warning about not wanting to talk about it. Hey, 3 strikes, you're out. I done told you I don't want to be bothered with this, and then walk out. No need to black out, no need to throw no chairs, no need to get in nobody's face. But you know, hindsight is 20/20. All right. At the same time, you can't really just. See, this is what bothers me. It bothers me that people are sitting here acting like, well, he's not sorry. And look, you don't sit up there and take a person who you already know has anger management issues and then drill him about the issues you know are going to most potentially set him off. I mean, if you have a relative who's, just gotten out of alcohol rehab or Narcotics Anonymous rehab or something like that, are you going to sit up there and have a Coke line party and invite them? Are you going to sit up there and have a cookout in the back and everybody drinking Schlitz malt liquor, Colt 45, Crown Royal, Southern Comfort, VSOP, Hennessy, Hypnotic, Four Loko, whatever, Red Bulls and vodka, whatever, Ciroc, whatever? Are you going to have the alcoholic sitting there like that? That's why Ted Williams, the dude with the golden voice, that's why he never really got to take off like he was supposed to, because his family got him liquored up. As soon as he started to look like he was going straight, haircut and everything, he got back with his family, they get him liquored up. Alright? That's why El DeBarge, riding the wave of his, comeback success and everything, a couple months later, he's back in rehab. Why? Because people are surrounding him with alcohol and parties or whatever, and then everybody wants to relieve themselves of accountability by just saying, well, that's the nature of the beast. You should have been prepared for that. No, come on. We're all human beings. We all part of the human community. We all supposed to be looking out for one another. And to sit up there and just like, oh, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I just wanted to talk about the restraining order. Come on, don't piss on my head and tell me it's just raining. That's ridiculous. And, you know, I don't know why he would black out like that. I don't know why Chris Brown would act the way he did. You know exactly damn why. You pissed him off. You know he has anger management issues and you pissed him off. I can understand why he got pissed off. I can understand why he acted out the way he did. He has anger management issues. People with anger management issues behave that way when you make them angry. It's like the old TV show The Incredible Hulk, when my man tells the dude, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. It's like, let me give you another quote. The movie Four Brothers, where Terrence Howard tells Wahlberg and Tyrese and them, if you keep knocking on the devil's door, one day he's going to answer. It's really just that simple. Let me give you another example. Don't sit up there and light a match at the gas pump and then get mad when your car explodes. When you set out to do something stupid, when you create the environment to cultivate stupidity, don't get mad when you harvest stupidity. Let's everybody stop judging one another as if our ish don't stink. Okay, it's, you know, like the saying goes, people who live in glass houses, each and every one of us got some, you know, some glass beachfront property. All right, none of us is perfect. Every one of us has made mistakes. Every one of us, myself included, could be labeled a hypocrite for any given thing that we've done throughout our life, you know. But I believe that if you say one thing and you do another thing and you don't learn from it and you continue to talk one way and do another, that's when you're a hypocrite. All right. But if you make a mistake and you try to keep how do you advance and grow from your mistake if people want to pull you back? Another movie quote: every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. Godfather 3. Okay? And I love the movies, but you know, art imitates life, imitates art, and sometimes that's just the way it is, you know. So we need to stop being so judgmental of one another. All right, we need to stop. I mean, we can have our opinions about one another, but come on, none of us are perfect. Everybody got to sit down and handle their business at some point in time. Everybody got to wake up, go to sleep, bleed, eat, sleep, ish, you know, sweat, wash. Everybody's got to do these things. We're all human. So let's start acting like we're human. Let's start treating each other with the same respect we would damn near demand for ourselves. That's just my take on it. You know, I wish the young brother the best. And you know, I would go on to further say, just because, you know, you belong to a quote-unquote reputable media source such as Good Morning America, you know, come on, game recognized game. And you know, you can't sit up there and create a hostile environment and then just throw your hands up and wonder why the end result was a hostile situation, and then say, oh, well, we said, oh, this was the other thing I wanted to mention. Robin Roberts said that Chris Brown knew what they were going to talk about. Chris Brown said in another interview, I believe it was 106 in Park yesterday, that his camp said they sent a letter talking about these are the things we want to talk about. So at that point, it's a matter of who you want to believe or who you choose to believe. Do you believe the Good Morning America chick because she's, you know, Good Morning America? Or do you believe Chris Brown because, I mean, he's the one sitting there saying it? It's one person's word against another person's word. None of us have the contracts or the agreements or whatever in our hands. So whoever can produce that with his sign, they're the ones I guess you'd believe. But who the hell's going to get all that deep into it? Again, in the end, we should just stop being so judgmental of one another, because deep down I think it's just a hidden jealousy of those who have more and do more than the rest of us. So, you know, it's good to see somebody who has so much fall from grace, come right back down to where we are at the base level. Because why? Misery loves company. It's really just that simple. So I'm praying for the young brother, and I'm hoping that he pulls through this. As a matter of fact, I think the dude's gonna be just fine. You know, just because somebody's going through an issue don't mean you can't. You got to keep bringing that issue up and putting it on their back. You know, come on. That's just how I feel about it. So, that being said, I'm going to go on with my day. I hope you have a great day yourself. And I'll be talking to you again real soon. Take care. Bye. When a woman caught in the act of adultery was brought to Jesus by the scribes and Pharisees, they said, Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, but what sayest thou? Knowing they were tempting him to get him to flip on the woman so they could accuse him of not being true to his teachings, Jesus ignored them. So when they continued asking him, he lifted himself up and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.